Was it for all the guys you were racing with at that time when Greg Moore passed away? Was that a big wake up call for the sport, or was that just kind of what happens sometimes?
I think it was a wake up call. I think it was a wake up call for everybody. I mean, the team, Pat was like not in good shape mentally.
Carpentier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was there. And it was crazy because I'll tell you a story after that. It's nuts. What I'll tell you, you'll see. But when Greg was in the paddock, right, he had a really big contract with Penske. And I remember I was signed by the team and I was there as a spectator and being like a 2000.
Oh, so the end of their season, you were watching as a player's driver.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I was in Fontana.
Yep.
And Greg broke his wrist, falling off his scooter.
Right.
And so he went to get a cast. So he missed qualifying and he really wanted to race. Well, players didn't want to put me in the car because I didn't run on super speedway. I didn't have the experience. So they called Roberto Moreno to sub him.
Okay.
And Greg didn't want that. And he wanted to do the race. He wanted to finish the race.
With a freshly broken hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was quite, I mean, the vibe was weird, right? And I asked myself at the time, I said, why? So I think Greg was 11th in the championship. I don't know, like and he had nothing to gain, at that race. And it was just to finish the year with the team. So I asked myself the question, but then I said, well, if I would be in his position, would I want to race? And I said, I want to race all the time.
For sure.
So I went, and then when we were there and the crash happened, 11 laps into the race, I was like, oh my God, this just happened in front of me? Like what I'm doing here? Like this is wrong. But the thing that was weird for me is that I heard many drivers in the past complaining about the grass inside the track. And comments were made on safety over time. And then when you see the wreck, the car literally flipped and then end up, upside down into the wall because of the grass.
Right.
So when you're asking if that was a wake-up call, I think it was a wake-up call for all the community of the drivers that said, listen, when we think something is wrong, we better voice our opinions, because it's not like we didn't know that the grass was not going to be a safe situation. And so I think as a driver, sometimes you could get very complacent, and also easy to get complacent because in your mind, you already accepted that you're doing a very dangerous sport and your passion is in the red zone, right? You love what you're doing and you say, this is what it is. I live really well with the danger. So when something like this happened, you also think it's part of racing. But yes, it is, but it's also part of the drivers and the old motorsport community to say, what can we do to improve? And I think from that race incident, that accident, you can see a lot of the tracks improve, on the interior, the way the walls are positioned, like more asphalt on the inside, and there was a movement on safety.
Right.
So yes, I think, like that accident was a wake-up call for the entire motorsport community, for sure.
Right.